Okay, thank you very much. So I would like to introduce our next speaker, which is the person of Mr. Temitope Adelaja. Temitope Adelaja. He'll be teaching us on the topic positioning yourself for global opportunities. So Mr. Temitope Adelaja is the founder of Futurize Africa, a youth-led initiative driven to empower and equip young youth to become self-dependent and leadership training. He's a graduate of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, Nigeria, where he had his first degree in remote sensing and GIS, and later Master of Engineering in Geodesy and Geoinformatics at Hochschule, University of Applied Science, Germany, and also Master of Engineering in Land Management and Geospatial Science at Technical University of Munich, Germany. He has represented Nigeria in many occasions, conferences, seminars. Also, he has acquired professional skills as a GIS specialist at Tenet GmbH, and he is currently working as a GIS specialist at Triumph Group, also in Germany. He's always passionate about youth development and entrepreneurship. He is a coach to young ones. On that note, I'd like us to specially welcome our first speaker to today's event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. I believe you can all hear me, please. Sorry, am I audible enough, please? I would like to get a response.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
All right, thank you so much. And on the first note, I would like to correct my name. My name is Adeyela Temitayo Joseph, not Temitope. So that's just. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, I would like to start right now. I was informed I have 40 minutes, and I would really want to work very fast. We'll have 30 minutes for the discussion, and probably the 10 minutes for question and answer, if there will be a space for that. And I would like to appreciate the student life for this opportunity of talking to the youth. Like it was read in my profile, I'm always very passionate to talk to youth, and always wanting to encourage ourselves, because I believe we can go better in life if we support each other. And my optimum goal in life is just to see youth growing and supporting each other in all our careers. And this is one of the things we do in Futurize as well. So it's really a good thing for me to stand on this platform this evening to talk to people outside. And I will start with sharing my screen. Okay, so I believe you can all see my screen. So I was asked to talk about positioning for global opportunities. And to start with, I have these two pictures in mind, which actually came to my mind while I was preparing this presentation. Of a truth, if most of us, I believe we've watched Hollywood movies, and we've seen a lot of things about them. For you to be able to acquire this kind of building in this top right-hand side means you are a wealthy man in the United States. For you to acquire an office space, you can see skyscraper, that you can see a lot of buildings, that you can see this beautiful building, means you've gotten to a peak in your career that you are actually wealthy or comfortable. But talking about positioning does not really matter what you have in hand. And from this man, he could be wealthy. He could see everything he wants to see. He could see beautiful buildings, see the streets, see beautiful structures. But the question is, can it be seen? Can everyone see him as well? And on the other hand, we have this man giving a lecture as well, who apparently could see almost every tribe, could see almost every race, people from Africa, from Asia, from different countries. He could see them, he could interact with them. Before you can actually address this kind of large crowding as well, means you have gotten to a peak in your career that gives you, this kind of positioning, this kind of influence So both men are actually great in their career. They are actually at the peak of their career. They could see different things. They could see a large number of things that they want to see. But one could be seen and the other one could not be seen. This is just a pictorial view of it. Does not mean that the man standing in his office could not be seen by other people in his company and his staff as well. But just a pictorial view of what we're talking about. That when we're talking about positioning, it doesn't really matter where you are standing. It doesn't really matter how far you are standing. What really matters is what can you see and can you be seen? And to make a change in this life, to make a change that we are that we all are anticipating for, you have to be seen and you have to see people as well. So talking about global positioning, it had to do with what you can see and how people see you. I'll have to move forward because of my time as well. So to start with my time, I want us to know that no one is going to spend more time thinking of your career than you. No one is going to encourage you like you have to encourage yourself. No one is going to, to push you to that peak of your career that you want to be pushed to. No one can do what you can do for you. As a matter of fact, everyone thinks they know you. Everyone thinks they can dictate your future for you. Everyone thinks they can actually support you to that peak you want to get to in life. But the truth is, no one can push you to where you want to get to, except you push yourself to it. And the truth is, for you to stand in that positioning of global recognition, no one can encourage you. As a matter of fact, I find it very funny talking about it because I also need kind of talk as well. I need people to motivate me on how to get to a place in my life that I have to be seen, that I will be seen globally. And just to tell you, the world is changing quickly. As a matter of fact, this is not a new thing for us that we know the world is changing gradually. As a matter of the point is every day things are changing. The career you think you are working right now, in the next couple of days, there will be a slight change in that career. And thinking of it in a couple of days, you can imagine what change can happen to your career, to your course, to your field, to your life in the space of few weeks. And this is not a news to us that in the last 10 years, there are no or less remote jobs. There are no or less iPhones, and iPhone is something everyone is using right now. There are no or less tech jobs as well, which means these change are constant. There will definitely be a change in everything, in every way, and that change requires someone else, to take it up in order to be in that position to control the world. And I'm saying right now that maybe your field hasn't changed. You might think probably you are in a very small field, and your field hasn't changed. But I'm telling you that some things in your field has changed that you might not even take note of. But the truth is, something is changing in your field. Just 1 second. All right. When you talk about sophisticated tech, you talk about social media. Social media is not what it used to be in the last 2 years. It's not what it used to be in the last 5 years. I'm talking of 10 years ago. The world is really changing, and we need to upgrade ourselves. We need to develop ourselves to the point whereby we change with the world so that we could be in a position whereby we could be seen and the world can see us. So what next? What does it really mean for you? The truth is, the game has changed. Obviously, the game has changed. The game at which we play in the last 10 years of becoming successful in our careers. I'm sure most of us right now, in the last 10 years, all we think is just to finish from university and to get this white collar job. No one is actually thinking of probably going into tech or probably mixing up entrepreneurship with career. No one's ever thinking of that. But the game has changed. That means you need a new plan. And the truth is, the competition is real. Talking about competition, if you think you are good in this area of your career, if you think you are good in this skill, my brothers and my sister, someone else is outside there right now that is very much good and is better than you do. And the truth is, another thing is that person that seems better than you, someone is also outside there. It is 100%, even in multiple fold, better than that person, which means the competition is really is real, and you need to be versatile. And being versatile does not mean that you have to compete with this person. No, this is not about competition. You have to be good with what you are doing and add different skills to whatever you are doing. For instance, if you are in GIS, like I'm working in GIS, and I have people who are better than me in GIS, But the only way I can be better than them as well in GIS is probably I can add another skills in GIS that can make me better than them. For example, I can actually include coding into my GIS skills. And if I have coding and have GIS, I'm a step above someone who has GIS alone. If I had real estate management to my career, I'm a step better than someone else as well. For example, I had my first degree in GIS in Nigeria, my master's in GIS as well. And my second master's degree was not fully in GIS, was into land management, which makes me a bit better than someone else who did just land management, because I can actually apply GIS skills into land management. In that position right now, I'm a step ahead of someone who has done GIS alone, and I'm a step ahead of someone who has done ordinary land management as well. So the competition is very real, and you need to be versatile. The question you have to ask yourself is, what do you have? You know, we all have this dream, we have this goal in our mind, but how strong is your goal? And your goal should be determined by your intention. If you actually have a goal of becoming a Nigerian president one day, I believe the intention you should have is how you have to join a party, how you have to make yourself known to the party. So if you are looking for a way to stand, you know, facing people from different countries to be globally recognized, I believe your intention should be strong at this point in time. And that is really what I mean by, what do you have? What do you have that can actually make you stand in front of governors, in front of ambassadors, in front of people of high calibers? What do you have? It is not all about dreaming. It's not all about vision. It's not all about, positive mindset. It's all about you asking yourself what you want or what you have. And if you think what you have is not enough for you to achieve your goal, then you need to work on yourself more and add to what you have. Not everyone, not every big man outside has everything they need to become the great man in life, but they work on themselves to become a better person. And the truth is, there is always a need. It's just unfortunate that we have so many skillful youths in Nigeria, or let me say unfortunate right now, but the kind of condition we have in the country makes us not recognize our skills earlier. Globally, just are doing they are doing excellently. They are doing wonderfully, and they are doing great things across the globe. But we don't have a platform in Nigeria that can actually make us explore our skills, explore our ability and what we have. Which means there is always a need.
Not for Excel. This one is not for Excel.
I don't know if it's
yeah, it's a course. Students need Africa.
Sorry, are we together? Okay, so we just have to be, creative. We have to think in a different way that could make us, find out what people really need. In the last 2 years, when there was pandemic and there was total lockdown, no one talked about online platforms for church services, for schools, for everything. No one was thinking about that. I believe in the last 5 years, Zoom founder, Skype, and every other founders that we are using during the corona, they never saw this coming. They never not planning of this. But the thing is that they know that there will definitely be a need for this, and they invented this. And when the need came, we all had to use this need. And in the space of time, they became a millionaire. They became recognized across the globe. This is something this is something you can actually do. Does not mean that what you are thinking right now is not. For instance, thinking of something right now does not mean it's useless. What you are thinking right now might not be useful at this point in time, might not be useful in the next 5 years, even the next 10 years. But trust me, there will be a time that this thing will be needed. And this thing could be needed by just one person, or by a company, or by any other person. Flutterwave came up some years ago, and people really do not think they would definitely be using it right now. But the truth is, people are using it drastically. Paystack and every other companies like that, they came up from nowhere. They came up from someone's dream, from someone's intention, from someone's plan, out of nothing. And right now they are doing, great job across the globe. This is something you can also do as well. So I start with saying that these are the strategies for you to position yourself for global opportunities. One, you have to develop yourself. When you mean develop yourself, develop your skills. Whatever skills you think you have, if you are into graphics, develop your skills. Make your skills speak for you. Manage your online presence. The third one is think and act across the globe. I'll talk about this one in the next slide. Let's just speed up all my time. Think and act across the globe. Try to know a little thing about everything. Then the last point is always act and stay focused. Then I move on to develop your skills. Talking about developing your skill, you have to update your skills regularly. These are what can help you, that can position you in that global position, that will make people to see you, and that will open so many opportunities for you outside the country and even in the country. Update your skills regularly. If you're into design, I'm sure design has gone beyond what it used to be. So this means that every day you need to update yourself. Every week, update yourself on what design really looks like, what programming really looks like. There's some programming that we have, some programming skills that we have right now that in the next 5 years, they would not be that relevant. You need to update yourself on everything you are doing, on every skills you have. Improve your writing skills. If you're positioning yourself for global opportunities, you have to improve your writing skills because your clients will be in other countries and they need you to express yourself to them. You have to put across the message of what you can do to them. And you can only do this by emails or by writing them. And if your writing skill is very bad, it won't really help you because your clients will want to see what you have for them in writing. And if you have these very beautiful writing skills, it will really help you. So that means you have to improve your writing skills as well. Be a global volunteer locally. Some of us actually think working in NGOs, working with and working as volunteers is really stressful. Fine, they don't pay you, they don't give you anything. Sometimes it's time consuming. But the truth is, your intention has to come first. Not all NGOs are time wasters. In some NGOs, they might not pay you, but what they are giving back to you, what they are giving to you is more than them paying you. For example, in Future is Africa right now, we're actually planning a program in the next couple of months. And unfortunately, myself and the vice president might not be around for the program. So we have all our teams on ground for the program. During this program, I'm sure all our teams that will be on ground will meet people of high calibers. They'll be able to represent us and they will talk freely. From this, they can actually exchange contacts, meet new people.
No. My boss just called me.
You work.
Sorry.
Like, I don't know. I don't get what kind of job are you doing?
I told you I promote crypto project now.
It's actually very.
So what I'm saying is that from NGO, from voluntary work, you can meet new people, those that can actually vet your work, those that can encourage you, those that can give you every information you need about your skills. This is why I actually recommend you volunteer, join an NGO or join a global organization locally, not necessarily traveling out to another country. And if you have a platform where you can join them online, join them, participate. Don't just join them for joining's sake. Get involved in their project, get involved in their activities, get to know the founder, get to know every of the team members. In one way or the other, they have a way they can help you. And at the same time, work on your confidence. If you are planning to stand in front of someone if you are planning to stand in front of someone better than you in every area of your life, talk about financial, talk about knowledge, talk about education, you have to work on your confidence because they don't want to see you as someone who is coward. They want to see that man in you, and which is why you have to work on your confidence. You need to talk to them as if you are also a great person. Picture yourself as a great man as well. Picture yourself as a great woman. Talk to them with confidence. You don't have to shake. The words they will say is no. They can't kill you for that. And at the same time, increase independency. Because you want to stand globally, you have to increase your independency. You have to learn how to work alone, how to fight for yourself, how to create path for yourself. And in addition, you learn foreign languages. Learn different language that you can never learn. If you are thinking of standing in global position, that means you are thinking of connecting with people in different countries and from different race, from every tribe. You have to learn their language, because one thing people appreciate is for you learning their language, speaking to them in their language. For instance, if you are thinking of working with someone in Germany and you can speak German, I'm 100% sure you get the contract from them, or you get you get their attention, because they love their language more than any other thing. So for you to be able to work globally, learn their language, even if it's ordinary hello, if it's ordinary Guten Morgen that you can actually say. I mean, they know that at least you have respect for their language, which will make them to consider you, at least to give you the audience first. Just walk up to a German man, just say, entschuldigung, Guten Morgen. They would definitely want to know what else you want to say. And the next thing, you just like, ich kann nicht Deutsch sprechen. Then they know that, okay, you are trying. Just to other language, to Chinese, to Spanish and everything, learn at least a little bit of foreign language, which will really help you. Increase your cultural understanding and awareness. Get to know their culture, get to know their, what they are doing in their country and everything like that. And I say, connect to people globally. If you are going for any function, if you have any meeting, any online meeting, after the meeting, try and connect to them globally. Use your LinkedIn account, use any account you could use. Get to know them, connect to people globally. Don't just let your social media accounts be just for entertainment's sake. Try to know people outside your country, outside your ethnic areas as well. Then lastly, I said to boost your communication skills. This is very much important because, okay, fine, you've learned all these skills. You have a very good skill. Your writing skill is very good right now. You have the confidence. You need to know how to talk, how to communicate perfectly. There's always a difference between you talking and communicating. So when you communicate with them in a very good way, it gives them audience. I don't have more time on myself right now. This is just a video of one of my presentations in Germany. That was in the last 2 years, if I remember. You comport yourself. Don't have to be scared. You can go there with I was talking to Germans there and I was in my native attire. They don't really care about what you are writing or what you are saying or what you are wearing. What they want to see, how you can carry yourself, how you can present yourself, how you can present what you really have in you. So I have to move further. I think I'm short of time right now. These are just online presence. What you need to do for your online presence. Your online presence, how to manage them very well. It opens doors to connect to people. It will help you to meet with new people. Use your LinkedIn account, your Instagram account, join people, reconnect with friends in different countries, in China, in Japan, and everywhere. And at the same time, your online presence will actually increase your chance to be noticed. When you are stable online and you are managing your presence very much online, it will increase your chance of being noticed. People will see you. They will see what you stand for. They will see what you can do. They will see how much you can offer. At the same time, it increases your confidence level. Talking about from the previous slide, when you are constant online and you manage your online presence very well, you get to talk with people of high standards, people of high calibers. When you talk to them, it increases your confidence by talking to them on phone, by chatting with them. At the same time, it gives you positive and influence. It gives positive influence and energy to you. It opens opportunities to you. It raises your profile and your reputation. And also knowledge sharing. It helps you to share knowledge and also to receive knowledge from everyone else. Personally, satisfaction of helping others. So just 1 second. Okay. This is about talking. We're talking about thinking globally. I'm sorry, just 1 second. Okay, I said hearts across the globe. The first thing you have to do is just picture and dream, like I said earlier. Have this picture in your mind. This is what you want to become the next thing. This is what you really want to do. Picture it and dream it. Dream higher. Review history. Look at your career. If you are into GIS, have an history of that GIS. How many people have made it in GIS? What have they done in the past 10 years in GIS? What have they done in the past 10 years in graphics? Review history. Know what they've done. Know what they have not done. know what actually
Yeah, I
limits
think
them
we're far from me.
from getting that
Please, line.
that global
How's
recognition.
line?
Then the next thing is find facts and gather facts. Okay, now let me use that as a reference point. If you review GIS, you've known what they've done in GIS and how they've GIS for the past 10 years, and you've known what actually limited GIS
everything.
recognition. Find facts and gather the facts. Then be ready to spend your time, to spend your money, because you are looking for a global opportunity. You have to be ready to spend. You have to be ready to spend your time and to spend your money. Then the fifth point is create problem. What I mean by create problem is that look at something that you can actually solve out. Create that problem, throw it into that world of your field, then give the solution to it. People will people will run after you from different countries because they've seen the problem you've created and they want the solution to that problem. For instance, if you're into coding, just find the problem to create online, but have it in mind that that problem you created online, you have to get the solution to it as well. Create the problem online, then let people get engaged in that problem. Then after a while, bring in the solution. Trust me, after some months or days, people will come checking on you and to start asking you what you have to do for them and can you help them to do this as well. Be ready to work in teams. The truth is you have to help yourself, you have to learn personally, but you can't do without teamwork. You can't do without getting to meet with people. You can't do without that group of people. But the point is, before you have to come into the team as well, you have to have something to bring to the table for them. You have to have something to show them that this is what they're working on and this is why you need them. I said this is the the 5 parts of global recognition. One, you have to the resolve. You have to resolve it in your mind that, okay, resolve it in your mind. Now, this is the problem you want to address. Resilience, that means you have to work on yourself, find the problem, what are you going for, how do you want to address it. Then reimagination, now have a rethink of what the project is. If you do it this other way, what result will you achieve? Find multiple options, find different methods to solve that problem. Then return back to your drawing book, return back to your plans, correct your plan from the imagination and reform. This is just a few slides from one of my presentations last month, talking about global scholarship opportunities. I can share this with the convener, and I can share this. This is more than these 2 slides, but just a reference to it, like what you need for scholarship and how to get scholarship in foreign countries, in the UK, Australia, the United States, Canada, and Germany. We have different scholarship opportunities for different set of people, for females, for male, for under 18, for above 18, for married, for singles. You have to research more for this. We have in Germany, we have that scholarship, and what you have to find, what you have to prepare are just listed in the right-hand side. So these are the way you can position yourself for global opportunities. These are what you need to do to position for global opportunities, for scholarship opportunities. I heard from someone that Germany don't actually give scholarship to Black students, but unfortunately that is a lie because we have so many Black students under DD scholarship in Germany. I have quite a number of them around me. So all you need to do is just to get the information right and to position yourself where you can get the information. If you're not with someone that can help with the information, by positioning yourself with that person, you won't get the information. So everything still boils down to your position. So when it says get to move with people who can actually help you to achieve your dream. If you're thinking of relocating to Germany, find someone who has been living in Germany for the past years, walk up to them, talk to them, get to know them, engage with them. Looking into the UK, walk up to them, ask them about questions about UK, what you need to know about the country and everything. They will give you the information. And this says, I know a little about a lot of things, but I don't know a lot about everything. This is the truth. You need to know at least a little of everything. For instance, I'm futurized president. I'm not good in coding, but I know a little about coding. At least I know the HTML. I know at least a little of coding. And to The funniest part, I can develop a small website, I mean, an interface, but I'm not good at it. I'm good in GIS. I'm good in graphics as well. At least I have little of graphics knowledge. I have little of writing skills. I have at least little knowledge about everything that I need to control my organization. So for you as well, for you to be in that position of global recognition, you need to know at least a little thing about everything. Know of graphics, know of design, know of everything you want to know of. I know about event planning, I know decorating, I know screen printing, and quite a lot about things like that. So try and learn a little thing about everything. It will really help you. Then Tomohiro says, try to learn something about everything and everything about something. Fine, you want to know everything, at least a little of everything, but try as much as possible to know a quite number of things about one thing. You are free to know about GIS, about graphics, about painting, about everything, but try and find something that you have more interest in and know everything about it. If you want to be, to stand on GIS alone, try and know at least 90% of everything about GIS. If it's graphics, know at least everything about graphics as well. It will really help you in global positioning. Okay, I said now, always act and stay focused. Build a growth mindset, which is very much important. Improve your emotional intelligence. In the journey of becoming a global person or someone of a good standard or being successful in life, you have so many emotional problems. It is very much constant. It is constant. So you have to improve your emotional intelligence on how to handle things, on how to, to address situations that are not comfortable to you. Develop a mental toughness. Like I said, it's not very easy for you to, we can actually go right now and ask Dangote or Tedola how they are coping in their life. They have some down moments in their life that all you have to do as a person is you have to develop a mental toughness because it really helps you in that positioning. Cultivate strong and social support. Set achievable goal. This is very much important. Set achievable goal. Your goals must be really achievable. Don't just think you want to become, as a Nigerian, you want to be the German chancellor. I mean, that is not really achievable. You want to be the US president, it's not really achievable as a Nigerian. It takes steps. You have to become a citizen and stuff like that. So let your goal be achievable. Then focus on intrinsic motivation. Don't let online people to tell you it's not possible. Always find something online or something around you that will always motivate you. Don't look for the negative energy. Find positive energy and something that will actually push you forward to achieve your goal. And I say to this, connect with some people at least in a month. This is very much important. If you want to be a global figure or to be recognized globally and to open to different opportunities, connect to someone at least in a month. It could be in this, just like these two kids, could be in the mall, could be online, could be everywhere. I think for my life, at least in the last couple of years, I've met people who have actually helped me in my career, in my life. And some are not actually physical, they are online. I had this friend I met online on Twitter last year, and he has been a very good friend of mine right now. I mean, I've done a great thing with him as well. I have another one which I met this year on Twitter as well. He has helped me in my career, in project-wise and stuff like that. And for instance, my future team, I met some of my team, probably some through my younger brothers, some through friends, and some through different platforms. And they are there right now helping me, and we are doing wonderful. Try and connect to people at least once in a month. Get to know people every month. It really helps you in this position. Help someone and expect nothing in return. This is very much valid. Help everyone you can help, at least for every situation, just for anything they need. Help them and expect nothing in return. These people could actually be of help to you later in future to achieve this your goal. And I say also learn something new every month. Try and learn something new every month. Anything you think you want to learn something new every month. Then the last thing is take your time. It could take a longer time. For someone, it could take 20 years to achieve that global position. For someone, it could take 5 years, and for some people, it could take 3 months. But take your time. this common word in Nigeria right now. Breakfast is for everybody, but I did breakfast. That is just the truth. But your own breakfast is not what it's the real context in that word. It's your global positioning. Everybody will attain that global positioning, but it takes time. My 5 years journey is not your 10 years journey. Your own 5 years journey is my own 20 years journey. Just take your time and work with your speed. So thank you very much for this opportunity. I really want to say much more, but for my time's sake, I'll really stop here. And I hope we'll have to answer some questions. And I believe I've done justice to the topic. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I'm sure we've all been inspired. First of all, I would like to apologize for getting your name wrong the first time. I apologize. The correct name is Adelaide. Thank you so much for this session. It's been an amazing journey. Wow, I've learned a lot. And so I would like to give just 3 persons the opportunity to ask you some questions. I know most of us will have questions, but we're trying to keep to time today. So this is what we'll do. We'll have just 3 persons ask questions. Every other person that has a question would use the chat box. You can drop your question. We would attend to your question later.
All right, that's fine.
So right now we just have ask a question. So if you like to ask a question, you can raise your hand. Who is going first? You can raise your hand or use the chat box. I'll see your question and I'll read it out. Do you have a question or should I go ahead? Okay. Okay, since there are no questions, I'll be asking 2 questions, quiz questions, and the first person to answer correctly gets to win the prize. So you can help us determine the winner. You can help us determine the winner. So this is my first question. Oh, someone has a question. Okay. You can unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay, can we get the foreign scholarship guide? So there's a question. Someone is asking if we can get the foreign scholarship guide.
Yeah, I can send that to the convener through the email address. That's fine.
Okay, thank you, sir. Then there's another question. How do we build our confidence?
Just on a quick one, building your confidence it's easy. Let me say it's easy, but at the same time, okay, let me start with this. I think the person that asked this question should start with asking this question verbally as well. This is the way you can build your confidence amidst thousands of people. Get to boost your confidence. Speak boldly. No, it's not a point. Like for instance, when I got to Germany in the last 3 years, I can hardly speak German. And I have to work with German people, which makes it difficult to me. But one thing I did was that I helped myself with the confidence. I don't care whatever it means to you. I say everything I want to say. To some point, I know I was speaking like pidgin English. You understand how it looks like? I do now, something like that. But I do not really care about that. What I want them to know is that I'm communicating with them. So you build your confidence by expressing yourself, be free with yourself. just be free with yourself and find every opportunity to to let people know what you stand for and what you have. Doesn't really matter how you pass across the information. Doesn't really matter who you are on what you can do. But the confidence starts from you believing in yourself. You have to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, there is nothing you want people to say about you. Believe in yourself first, know you can do it, and just express your mind. Just go with it. And this is more or less like a different topic on its own. But in summary, just be yourself and be free with yourself. If you want to talk to people of a different caliber, I usually tell my futurized teammates, right now, I don't know who I cannot address. I'm sorry if that is not pride, but the truth is I don't know who I cannot address. The worst they will tell me it's no, or at least I will make an attempt of addressing the person. Thank you.
All right, thanks so much, sir. The final question from Favor Onema. Okay, person is asking, I'm a 500 level dental student. Are there scholarships abroad for me?
Yeah, like I said, it's actually in the slide I mentioned. I would share it across to the convener. There are scholarship award scholarship for everyone, regardless of your position, your age, and everything. So for 500 students, I know there are some scholarship available for 500 students to move into different countries to complete their program and do their masters in that country. I was working on one before. Yeah, I will have to say right now, before something happened 2 years ago, where I was working with a partnership with FUTA and a school in Germany. That was, sorry. That was to help people. That was to help people in 500 level from Nigeria to come to Germany, finish their program in Germany, and start their masters immediately. The program is actually it's available for people in Asia, like Ukraine students have the opportunity of coming to Germany, finish their program, and do their masters immediately. So I was working on that for FUTA, but one way or the other, my HOD in FUTA did not really approve the scholarship, whatever, and that made FUTA to lose the opportunity. But that does not mean that for Nigerians, we still don't have opportunities. That is for that university. I'm sure we have that opportunity for TUM as well. And I don't know about any other country, but for Germany, I know it's possible for you to finish your 500 level in a particular school and start your master's immediately as well. Everything still boils down to information and getting the right people to help you out with it. I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. There are other questions, but I don't think we're able to take them for now. But I would like to give one person an opportunity to share your thoughts from this session before I ask the questions. Just one person.
I think we have 2 hands up right now. Maybe 2.
Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Can you hear me? No, thank you.
Yeah, hello, we can hear you.
Okay, please, I joined the session lately. I don't meet your introduction. Please, can you please reintroduce yourself, please?
All right. I'm Adelaide Timintayo by name. Okay, I think the person I left the colleague. Okay, he's online. I'm Timintayo Adelaide by name. A graduate of FUTA and the founder of Future Africa. I live and work in Germany presently, and I had my master's degree in FUTA. And my bachelor's degree in footer. I think that's the little thing I can say about myself right now.
Okay, sir. I'd like you to share with us your social media handles
Okay.
to everyone.
Yeah, I can type that in this comment section. Just 1 second. For my LinkedIn account, that's basically all my accounts are just my name. So it's Adela Temitayo. All my social media accounts generally use the same name. So my LinkedIn, Temitayo Adela, that's my LinkedIn. Instagram, Adela Temitayo as well. Twitter, Adela Temitayo as well.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, let me just ask the 2 questions before we go. I said you're going to help us. So the question is to the house, to the participants. When you came up, you said something. The first person to get the first sentence you made, you get a prize. So you made a statement, a sentence, the moment you were introduced. What was the first sentence? You can use the chat box. The first person to get this right, get the answer. That's the first question. The second question is, what is the unique thing you can do whenever you visit a foreign country? That's the second question. So, okay, so I'll be saying what I think is the first answer first before before we move on to the next session. Then if you disagree, you can correct me. When you were introduced, the first thing you said was, "Thank you very much." Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, the first thing I did was that.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Okay, the winners will be announced at the end of today's session. I want to say very for the impact. We've sure been impacted in a great way, and definitely we were positioned rightly. We're going to, I believe that everybody that participated here is going to impute whatever we've learned in this place, and that's the way to actually learn. The proof to show that you learned is that you actually practice, you put it into work. So after these training sessions, we are going to start putting them into work. I want to urge every one of us to, like we did yesterday, go to our different social media handles of Insight 2022. Today is day 2, and please, it is Insight, not inside. I know some persons were getting it wrong yesterday. So go to your various social media platforms and post Insight 2022. Post 1 or 2 things you learned, and you can tag a speaker's name to your post too. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for being here with us.
Just one thing before I leave the page right now. For the scholarship opportunities that I mentioned earlier on, you might not find that on my own personal page. I actually don't share it on my personal page, but you can find that on Futurize Instagram account or Twitter account. I think the social media department are working on that, and they share information regarding scholarship and everything on the Futurize page. So you can actually check on Futurize page. But at the same time, I will share the slide with the convener of this meeting. Thank you very much, and thank you once again, Students Live Africa. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity. Okay, we'll be moving on to the next session. We'll be inviting our next speaker very soon. Thank you for paying attention so far. We'll be announcing the winners. Like I said, the first person that answered correctly will be the winner to every question. So I would like to introduce the next speaker. I'll be sharing my screen. Thank you. All right, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. Okay, I'll be introducing the next speaker, the person of Kehinde Adebiyi. He is a doctoral scholar at Indiana University, Bloomington, where he's pursuing a PhD in microbiology. He was a founding scholar of the Nigerian University of Technology and Management, where he was engaged in interdisciplinary studies and innovations for African development. He's the National Director of Campuses for SGDs, ACT Nigeria. With over years of experience, he leads and coordinates all campus SGDs advocacy groups in Nigeria. He is also an Education USA OFP scholar. Kehinde holds a first-class bachelor degree in microbiology from the Lagos State University. He is also a recipient of numerous local and international scholarships such as the Gani Fawahimi Jagal Foundation and Fritzen Healthcare Scholarships. In 2020, he was a program coordinator for the Millennium Campus Network. He coordinated over 1,400 student leaders across 20 nations that participated in the class of 2020 United Nations Millennium Fellowship. In June 2020, he won the Union Bank Rice Challenge Award for his invaluable contributions in helping other people. He was also nominated as one of the 100 beaten corona in Africa by the Future Festival. He is also a fellow of the Young Africa Leadership Initiative. Kehinde also served as the Youth Lead Ambassador's Peer Advisor, where he supervised selected civic leaders across the globe, a project sponsored by USAID. Kehinde co-authored a book titled Nature Pays Diligence, which has helped undergraduates live a successful campus life. He is immensely passionate about sustainable development and desirous to see a planet where everyone lives in peace and shared prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Kehinde Adebiyi. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a great pleasure to be here, and thank you for the kind introduction. I really do not know how I want to go about this at this time because the email I got said I have a scheduled session for 6 p.m. and I have another session now for 7 p.m. and it looks like I just have 4 minutes left, but I will see how we can work things as soon as possible. So I won't be able to use less than half an hour here, and I hope you get to understand. So, but yeah, hopefully I was been asked to address the topic of practical steps towards attaining academic excellence. But firstly, to recognize the first speaker, Mr. Temitayo. That was a fantastic presentation. I listened patiently to all of the details. And I would say that if I had such information ahead, like when I was in undergrad or when I was, starting all of this, my career plan, I think I may have been in a much better position. So I think that's a good solace for me, noting that he was able to explicitly give a step-by-step process to how to be globally relevant. But how do you attain academic excellence? And I think it's a very interesting topic, but I will try to address it the best way I can. Now, academic excellence is relative, but it's also very objective. It's very fundamental. The basic definition you can give to academic excellence is to say it is basically you excelling outstandingly, in some academic landmark. For example, you're a university student and you're doing some set of courses, you making a 4.5 GPA and above in a semester, or even a 4.0 GPA. Sometimes academic excellence can be relative. So let's say you have a department where the highest GPA is 3.5 out of 5. And that is academic excellence in a relative setting, even though it's a myopic one compared to the metric of first class being 4.5. So, but I also need to establish that while academic excellence is very, very crucial, there are practical steps on how to go about it. I think the most important of it is diligence. Now, I wrote a book titled Nature Pays Diligence, and I'm going to share my stepwise practicability procedures into how I attain academic excellence and how things necessarily work. I think the first thing is to be passionate about anything you are doing. There are so many of us in the university institutions now where we are studying courses that maybe were not our preferred course. For example, someone like myself wanted to study medicine, and I'm glad I did not now after years. But I was given microbiology, in my first year. The interesting thing, I think I've shared this story for individuals I've attended one or two of my sessions. The interesting thing about the time I enrolled in microbiology at the Lagos State University was I decided to take another jam in my first year. Oh yeah, and let me take another jam. Why I just do microbiology? I will definitely get medicine the second time. But one fundamental decision I made that I think opened doors to me and made me to live, not to eventually regret, is that I took my first semester serious. I knew deep down that I registered for JAM. I'm reading for JAM. I want to switch to medicine. But I still took my first semester serious with the mindset that whatever I find myself doing, I should give my best to it. I read every day. I don't make lecture notes go the next day. I read every day, like from Monday to Sunday, I read every day. I ensure that there's no backlog of studies. I go to tutorials. But yeah, there's this part of me that's still studying every midnight for JAM. I think the common thing to do, or the most sensible thing to do, is to dedicate more energy for my JAM examination and also dedicate maybe less time for my first year study. Interestingly, I made a 5.0 GPA as my first semester grade point. That was my first GPA ever in the university. That was about 7 years ago now. And I know JAM. I had a good JAM score. I did the screening and etc. But to cut the long story short, the whole admission process changed at Lagos State University, where I was not a Lagos State indigenous, and there's a very high consideration for Lagos State indigenous. I think it was 65% aggregate for indigenous and about 85% for non-indigenous. So I couldn't even get medicine the second time. But the weird thing is, I didn't feel bad. I never knew why I didn't feel bad then. I just proceeded with the microbiology because I was only 5 points. I knew, okay, yes, if I can work hard, I can achieve very incredible success and maybe eventually proceed to medicine or not, or eventually do whatever I find. So I think the first fundamental principle is that whatever opportunity you have, make the best out of it. It's easy, it's very difficult. But I think the first thing is to establish credibility. My profile has been read and I'm quite humbled to have been able to do all of those things by mentorship, a lot of sacrifices, and most importantly, God. But one fundamental thing is that all through my days in undergrad, at the Lagos State University, I'm sure there are a lot of LASU students here and they can speak to how rigorous things could be, such as in other universities. And even till now in my career, I've never had a C before. I don't even know what it looks like to have a C. And it is not intrinsic. Why some persons argue that, yes, smartness is intrinsic. I knew is that whenever I take a book and I may read 100 pages in less than 30 minutes, and I'll remember everything there. But I don't leverage on that skill. That means that if I can take about 100 or 150 pages in about an hour and I can remember it, I think I have some of the perfect leverage to want to study a day to exam, and I'll still pass. I'm so confident. But I don't do that. And I think this is one irony I want to establish importantly. Now let's look at this scenario together. I know I think I'm a very fast reader. I read very smart. But yeah, from the first day of lecture, I ensure that I read everything that was taught that day. I go to the library, consult resources. Before the next lecture for that particular course, I ensure I revise before going to the class. I look at the syllabus, try to just read the synopsis of what the syllabus is about, then come back, read what is being taught. So as each topic is being taught every week, I am reading 1 week course in the first week. I am reading 2 weeks course in the second week. At the 10th week, it means that I've read the first week course 10 times because I'm always reading again every week for all the courses, about 8-9 courses as you all know in the university system. But the real truth is that I could afford to read them maybe a week or 2 weeks to exam, and I think I would still be exceptional anyway. But fundamentally is that I would mess up at some certain instances. It doesn't just work that way. Academic excellence doesn't work that way. It's a process. It's like an artisan job. I see why people may want to say academics is a lot of mental things to do. It's basically artisan. You are learning. It's just what it is. So I think it surprises me when I was in college or undergrad, where I see individuals that, and this is not to be proud, individuals I know that, okay, they take longer time to study, they need more time to understand concepts, they need to attend to SOIA, but they are the same set the interesting thing is that some other set of person wouldn't do it. And not to be like this. I just said I think very important question to ask. Why is it that it's the same set of individuals that are getting all the A's this semester, get it in 200 level, in 100 level, and until final year? If some other persons eventually join them, maybe in 200, that make a conscious decision to shift. I personally believe that there is no coincidence in consistency. Some persons are gifted, some persons I'm so sorry. I think my network, I think I went up for a while. Can you guys hear me now? I just want to confirm.
Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, so basically, I was saying that I personally believe that there's no coincidence in consistency. There's no coincidence in consistency. Like, some people are talented, some work hard, like, some are talented, I mean, some are gifted. But I can confidently tell you that hard work beats talent. For those of you that have read the book titled Outliers, there's a rule called the 10,000 hours rule. The consistent practice to something make you attain excellence faster than those that are intrinsically talented. Because a talented individual could eventually wear out or lose the game if the person does not work to be consistent towards it. A typical example, there are so many examples that you can cite. But to move into, but to deviate a bit from that, what are the practical steps to attain academic excellence? The first thing is to assess yourself. The first thing anybody is self-evaluation. You are in a department or you are studying a particular course. How best do you read? How many hours does it take you to understand some concept? Is it easier for you to read theoretical courses than courses that require calculations? Do you think you need somebody to teach you clearly before you understand some concepts? Or do you think that, I think the first thing is to just be self-aware. There's no crime in being self-aware. Do not say that, oh, Kenny can read in 30 minutes and you need 2 hours to digest it. I have a friend, his name is Dio. And I remember when I made the 5.0 in my first semester, he came to meet me. He made a 4 point, so he was on a good grade, a 4.0 something. And he was like, oh, Kenny, what can I do best? And I think he discovered I need more time to read. What I read in 30 minutes or 1 hour, I need to read in about 3 hours. And the basic thing that I did was to dedicate that more time that is needed. Because eventually, the end goal is the same. Both of us will eventually have the A's. Do I tell you the hard truth about it? That Diana is not a PhD student in Medical College of Wisconsin. And the Dio of 100 level about 7 years ago that requires 3 hours to study a particular concept to understand now uses less than 30 minutes to understand them. Because the more you are putting more effort, you can't be stagnant. Like your intellectual capacity cannot be stagnant. I'm a biology student. Like the brain work on a surface area level, it folds the more you stretch it to perform some activities. And the neurons get adapted to some concepts. So like whether you're a slow learner, you're a fast learner, just giving it the push, the energy needed is the first thing you need. It's like when you want to start a car, to be honest. Some cars can start automatically because they are well functioned. Some require you to push them a bit. But at the long run, when both of them are on the speedway and they get their balance, it goes on a very good speed. If there's obviously consistency in doing what you are doing investing. So you're a slow learner today, doesn't mean you'll be a slow learner forever. I think this is one excuse I've seen a lot of colleagues, mentees also kind of gives, which I understand it can be frustrating to see that your friend is reading for 10 minutes and you don't even understand it for a whole day. You don't understand it for a whole day, then take it the second day, take it the third day. The most important thing is just keep doing it. Very essential. The second thing is self-evaluation is, are you also doing it the right way? It's very, very important. You see that, okay, you are reading and you read, you don't remember. How do you read? That's the big question you ask yourself. Have you figured out the best way yet? Have you spoken to individuals that can assist you? Do you write when you study? Speak to colleagues. I was a very young guy when I was in college, and I have a lot of people that I work with me. They regard me as their mentor, but I see them as colleagues. But the ironical truth, all of them are older than me. All of them are older than me. There are people that came, I remember I have 2 friends. One was on a 2.5, one was on 2.4. I was in 200. They were like, Kenny, I want to be serious with academics. The 2 of them eventually made the 2-1 close to 4.0. One of them now is in the US, studying on a scholarship. They made a fundamental decision in 200 level second semester. They are both way older than me, more than 5 years.
But they just believe, okay, I think this guy has what it takes for me to achieve success. I don't know much about it. So humility is a very essential part of attaining academic success because you want to learn from others. The interesting thing about it also is, so beyond consistency, beyond self-evaluation is very important, consistency, humility. Another crucial skill you need is goal setting. So the previous speaker had said something about learning something about everything and also learning everything about something. That's a very important point. However, you want to set goals in two segments, a long-term and a short-term goal. From the day I entered the university, I knew I was in microbiology. I knew I wanted to make a first class. Like, not only a first class, I want to be. So now, I think, and this is where mindset matters too, and I'll come to the concept of mindset. From the day I entered university, I knew I don't want to be a scholar now. I feel like that's too small for me to target. I want to be an outstanding scholar. So like, I knew there'll be a lot of first class graduates, maybe about 1% of the institution will be first class or 2%. But I mean, those 1%, I want to be outstanding. I'm not competing with anybody, I'm just doing my thing. So being outstanding amongst the successful, among the excellent is the mindset. And that's why for me, having a B pays me to my bone marrow, like pays me so much. Like I can't even, in my wildest dream, I can't be stressed about getting a C or even having a carryover. It's not the mindset I give myself. And that's why that pushes me every day to study every goddamn day. It's very essential. Have you gotten to a level in your academic career where you did not read for a whole day, like, and the next day you're just feeling like your life is doomed? Like that's how I feel when I was in undergrad. I just feel like, oh my God, I didn't read yesterday. I need to make up something. You see, an exam is it's still 3 months away. It's a very essential battery. It's hard, but you just need to crave that goal to yourself. Okay, this is academia. This is what you are studying. Just attain success. It's very essential to have this. Now, beyond that, so you want to set goals in two phases. You want to set short-term goal and long-term goal. So the long-term goal is, I want to attain success. I want to be an outstanding scholar. But the short-term goal is, I write down all the courses. I write down the grades. I write down the level of difficulties in all of these courses. I write it down. I have a diary I kept all through. I write it down. I look at it every day. I read much more than what I was taught in class. I also teach others. I discover that the more I teach people, the more I get to know it. So once I read, I discuss with colleagues, so I teach people that need help. It's a very, I think, important secret of mine I'm sharing. I write when I study. I go back to read what I've studied, severally until like I internalize every of those concepts. Not only can I tell you word for word, but I also understand the mechanism behind it. Like it's just very important to have this passion. Now, some of you may want to argue that maybe his circumstances different. Maybe his families are okay, his parents is not thinking about anything. I've written a book, so for those that cares, I'm going to share the book with the convener to share with everyone. I came from one of the poorest families you can ever think of. I grew up in Bariga local government. I got to the university on a loan, so for my first semester, I started working part-time. I didn't have a smartphone until my third year, so I was borrowing materials all the time to read. Most time I read my friends' materials, and I ensure that I give them some because I don't have the resources for it. And I was working, I was teaching, doing home lessons so that I can survive, so that I can send money home, and I can pay part of the loan my parents got for me. So the circumstances was not favorable. But I also know that we are not defined. I repeat, we are not a definition of our circumstances by our decision. I don't have a choice. I know that, okay, like where I'm coming from, like there's nobody I'm looking up to. My mom is like, it's just a fashion designer. My dad is a carpenter. If I don't do well, there's like nobody will give me a job. It's as simple as that. I don't let the mindset of, look, I'm studying microbiology. It's not a lucrative job in Nigeria. I wish that is a facade, even though there's truth in it. But I just do one thing, that if I can be outstanding, I'm going to attain success. So the practical step to attain academic excellence, beyond self-evaluation, beyond passion, beyond determination, is seeing this path as a path that makes you successful. Now, you may want to argue that, you don't need to study your course to achieve success. I'm a big fan of that. Like, you study microbiology, doesn't use microbiology to be successful. You should get involved in other stuff. You see a lot of my profile that was read, like nothing about my research is there except the fact that I'm doing a PhD. Nothing about my publication. It's more about my social impact work. In my second year, I understood what the sustainable development goals were, and I saw those set of 19 goals by the United Nations. Oh, this goals is very good. It should change the world. What if all these things are happening? My life wouldn't have been this way. And I started doing social impact work. But despite all of this, I didn't make it affect my studies. I started the first SDG campus club on campus. It trained me. I was involved in student union politics. I started the SDGs Club in 6 other universities. We grew to about 20,000 membership. Eventually, my first job was with United Nations. But yet, one thing that's so essential is that I still ensure that I read. It had its own disadvantage because now I only sleep for 4 hours every day when I was in undergrad, when I started doing all of those things. But I still don't miss classes, even though some lecturer doesn't care if I come to some classes or not. Because I know my primary objective, let's be clear, is to come and get that bachelor's of microbiology. Secondly, I want to also build myself. One must not affect each other. It's not the same way. The way when you are eating must not affect the water you are drinking. Like there are two things that are very fundamentally needed. It's important to see this. So you are doing microbiology or business study, but you're passionate for tech or data analytics. It should not be an excuse for you not to do well. You are in student fellowship. I was a student executive fellowship for 3 years, to the level that I was the academic director of LCC, the University Community Fellowship. So I was always going to VGs to service every time. It still was an excuse for you to say that heavenly race is the key. All this, it's like those things usually, and they don't mitigate it. Jesus was excellent in everything he did. The Bible even testified to that. So, and for those that are Muslims, the fact that you are participating in MSSN stuff should not so deviate you from your primary objective. And this brings me to my most important point, which is time management. How do you want to manage your time? To be very clear, maybe I'm gifted, maybe I can put in a lot of stuff together. My other friend Dayo knows he can only function in one organization, and he left others because he knows he can't put all of body in himself. He cannot suffer himself of sleep and be sleeping for 4 hours every day. So you also need to know your threshold. How well can you stretch yourself? Like what wouldn't affect your primary objective? Your academic should not be the trade-off. I repeat, your academic should not be the trade-off. As far as you're a student, your academic should never be the trade-off. This is what having a good grade does for you if you don't know. I've been opportune to sit on different judging criteria. What are the UN? The first thing we don't see you. We see the book, we see the CV. Now, the first thing the CV shows us is your grade and your transcript. We look at it first class. Sometimes we don't necessarily care about that things. Just shortlist for interview. For those that don't have a first class, a second class or a 2-2, they will not start looking at other skills. Oh, this is a good skills. So this is to tell you that if you don't have first class, is not the end. It's third class even is okay. Just when it's okay, how's the CV like? How's the skills? But the thing that having a good grade gives is that it gives a faster process to getting invited to interview. It necessarily does not give you the job. I need to make clear. Because when you get to the interview stage, nobody cares anyway about your grade. It depends on who can present themselves best. Is it that third class person that can talk? And that is what Temitayo said when he was presenting. But the first class grade make you pass through a lot of processes and doors, make you pass the constitution easier. And having a first class, second class upper grade, make you get into the room that is left for you to defend yourself. And this is what first class may not necessarily give you. Your involvement in other stuff, to learn public speaking, to learn how to present yourself, very, very essential. So school is never a scam. Do you know what it takes to pass through stages? When I got my UN job, I think 500 people applied and they just want to select one person. And at the final stage, we were left with 10 people. Others graduated from Harvard and Stanford. I was the only one in the room that didn't study social impact work. I was in microbiology. But I had a lot of experience in SDG. I've traveled. The issue they want to solve, like I'm in Africa then. So I understood the perspective and I can also present it. I can say it. The passion is showing in my face. I'm not faking it. So I got into the room, but I could have possibly lost the job if I can't present all of these things very well. So fundamentally, to attain practical academic excellence, you need time management. And I just put in an adjunct that you also need to be involved in other skills building activities. Because in as much as academic excellence is an ignition, it ignites the start of success. It doesn't necessarily sustain it. Your other core values, your skills will sustain it. And if there's any other person saying it, I'm the one saying I had a first class, so I'm not yet to be a first class. I'm telling you that first class alone is not enough, but it's a great fundamental start. I think the last thing I would say is that you may be wanting to hear, how do you study? You should write, I should tell you, I write and study, I do this. I've learned, having taught a lot of students because I also lecture now. People have their different ways to study. I can only recommend, but eventually you find the one that works best for you. What is that approach that you took that you think you remembered what you studied well the most? I think that's the approach that works best. But generally, I know when people write and study, it works best. When people, revise what they've learned, it works best. When people also take a nap after studying for some time or taking a break, it works best when things are not going well. When you teach when you speak about what you read or when you teach it to another person, it works best. When you attend tutorials, even though you understand what they are teaching, it makes your knowledge consolidated. I was a university scholar, I've been receiving the house in 200 level, but I want to listen to tutorials. Not because I want to ridicule the person teaching it, because it's my secret. It consolidates what I know, it consolidates my knowledge. It's very, very essential. So summarily, I would say that academic excellence is a very interesting journey to go, a journey of that will modify you, that will change your perspective, a journey of discipline, a journey. It is never a coincidence. First class is never a coincidence. I repeat, first class is never a coincidence. Do you know what it means? It means you have to have minimum of 70%. Second class upper, taking the right way is also not a coincidence. But it's possible, it's possible. I'm not arguing that some people are not fundamentally talented, but I can tell you hard work over 1 million times will beat talents. And that's just what you need to know. It's just what it is. It is not easy. Kenny is not here to tell you that it's easy. Do you think I want to be sleeping for 4 hours every day? But this is where I am. Next year, I'm doing my final qualifying exam for my PhD and just to be doing research. So I could say that that's like the last exam of my life. And I'm still very young. I'm it can become where obviously by the time you start reading a lot, I wouldn't say you stop studying because you just like reading, but you are doing it because you just want to do it. The pressure will not be there. So for now, I can only give you a very good advice that you have a set goal that you are working towards to. It is possible irrespective of your circumstances. It is possible irrespective of wherever you are coming from, lack of resources. It is possible irrespective of the fact that there is also strike. I know that is frustrating. It is possible irrespective of the fact that your system is not working so well. It is possible even though you think you're a very slow learner that needs people to teach you. One thing that matters is your fundamental determination to succeed. Most importantly, be consistent, self-evaluate yourself, and always know that growth is not overnight. It's a slow process. But before you know it, before you close your eyes and open it, you are going to get to that position you want to get to. It's an honor to speak to all of you. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. And I'm happy to answer some very few questions before I go for my next session. Thank you so much. I am not sure. The host is here. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I cannot hear the host at all. I'm not sure if there's a host.
We can hear her. Hello. Okay.
Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you now.
Wow.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Wow, thank you so much. I will not be able to share my video now because of power outage. I would like to say thank you so much, sir. Thank you for this session. Sir, that's your CDPA. I'm still thinking about it. It's been an exciting time. Well, we're going to have opportunity to ask questions now. Just three questions. 3 persons will ask questions. Then for the rest questions that we have, might not be able to take all of them because of time. So you can unmute your mic. Can raise your hand first off. Sarafdin Musina Rola. Please can unmute your mic and ask your question if you have. If you have a question, unmute your mic and ask. Okay, so there's a question here. Let me read it out. What ways can we self-evaluate ourselves? Sir, can you still hear me?
sorry, I was
Who can
muted.
still hear
Sorry.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. So the question is, what
Okay.
ways can you
Okay,
self-evaluate
sir.
yourself?
How can we
I think that's a very interesting
self-evaluate
question. So the way I
ourselves?
do mine is simple. I take a book. Yeah, I get that. So the way I do mine is very simple. I take a book and I sit down, just alone. And I look at like, okay, my academics, I write all the courses I'm taking. And I look at my current stand, like, okay, where are they in class? And am I following up classes? Am I attending classes? If the answer is yes, I'll put yes, okay, I'm attending class. So the problem is not in my attendance. Two, am I studying before classes and after classes? The answer is if it's yes or no, I'll know this is no. The third is, how do I study? Do I even remember what I studied? The answer is yes or no. Do I need tutorials? Do I need to speak to someone? Do I have strengths in some courses? Do I not have strength? Yes, you just have to be truthful to yourself. It's your personal self. It's yourself. If you lie to yourself, then that's the greatest mistake ever. So it's just you asking yourself those bold questions you're free to ask yourself. Do you think you're serious at all? Am I spending too much time on some irrelevant stuffs? Do I need to change my time schedule on how I study? Am I sleeping too much all through the night? Am I reading the wrong way? Do I need to get a mentor? Do I need to talk to a senior colleague? Just ask yourself those big questions. Give yourself the quick answer because at the back of your mind. And you just want to make yourself a better person. You want to make yourself. I have a friend that is very proud, very, very proud. He himself admits. But the good thing about him is when he needs something, he's the most humble person I've ever met in my life. He's gonna be on your toe, he's gonna be begging until you get it. And after you get it, I'm not saying you should be that, you should be proud the way he is. But he should tell you how much but because he knows he's just being sincere with himself. And he doesn't know this thing, the other person knows it. So self-evaluation is just being true to yourself, sitting down. Some people talk to themselves about it. Some write in the advent of technology, some do a voice notes, and some speak to someone. You have a mentor, I have people that speak to me about self-evaluation. If they don't know the kind of question they ask themselves, they should ask themselves. So there are various ways to do it. So from self-evaluation, you must not create practical steps. Okay, what should you think you should do better? In ways you don't know, then ask for help from senior colleagues or mentors that have attained success. I'm not sure if you guys add that.
So I'm sure they heard you. They did.
Okay, great. Okay, I'm also looking at the
Okay,
chat
can
box.
you
A
hear
shout
me?
out to I can hear you actually. I'm also reading the question in the chat box. I don't know if I can take that.
Okay, so
Okay, yeah.
there's another question.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Mental stress, like academic
I saw that. How can we manage mental stress to attain academic excellence? How do we get motivated when the school system is not doing? It's a very interesting question. Yeah, there's mental stress. It's something I know right away from. The best way to manage mental stress is to take a break. Even though I'm always saying, yeah, I read every day. And my life is looking as if everything I do is just good. That's a big lie. Let me come out of that. I see movies when I was little guy, a lot. I have this small. So one of my professors gave me an iPad in my third year when I was like, oh yeah, Kenny, you're doing well. So since the day I got the iPad, is the day I got addicted to movies. So I see movies, I take break. When I have mental stress, I just forget into academic for some time. Sometimes like for 2 years or 3 days. That may not be a long time, but to me it's a very long time because that's the first part. The second part is to speak to someone. If the reason for your mental stress is not just because you are getting burned out. If there's some personal reasons. Example, I have some financial stress that make me mentally stressed. When I'm working and I didn't get paid and I don't have anything to eat, it happens severally. When my parents calls me that they need money and I can't send money to them sometimes. So those things also when, it's not that I'm okay with my position, but when it's getting so worse off that you cannot even afford basic things such as water, those are places I faced when I was in undergrad. It also causes mental stress. At that instance, you want to speak to someone, you want to pray because money will not fall randomly. But you also want to speak to someone, you also want to pray. But more importantly, having a mentor is also essential. I had mentors at various levels, senior colleague mentors, professor mentor. So I speak to them. Some of them knows a bit of my background, but never leverage your mentor in a way that is not okay. And I think that's why I still have a good connection with most of them. I never ask them any financial help. Sometimes they do give me, but not for, I wouldn't ask them. Secondly, is that like they knew that even though they are so close to me as university professors, they don't have any reason to give me a free mark. I'm always the one begging for upgrade for other students. And by the time they check my result, they'll be like, Kenny, why are you begging? I have a 90 something. And that's why I'm begging, because I know I'm not the one that needs. So I have the whole front to go. So you want to ensure that you don't want to put your mentors in some tight position to compromise in a very wrong way for you. I think that's something you don't want to do. But just be open to them. Have somebody that you can always speak to. And Joseph, happy birthday to you in advance for my namesake. And he said I should do a shout out. Just did that now. I saw another question here, so I wouldn't stress the host too much in the chat box. Is how do I cope with departmental friends who wanted to read with you when you can assimilate more reading alone? And how do I cope with failure to get medicine my first year? Yeah, a very interesting question. One, how do we cope with reading? I can read anywhere. Let me start from that. But I have friends that simply they can read, they don't. You just have to, this brings to time management. See, it's about your life. You won't lose your friend. When they know you go to the library, they'll be like, oh, let's read together. It's like, and just create a routine to yourself. It's always going to the library. Read with them, sure, read with them. But let them know that during the day you have to go to the library, and maybe when you come to read with them, you just want to revise maybe some things you've read before, and you ensure that you consolidate it. But you know yourself, you read best alone. So you don't want to necessarily slide them. Also let them know that, you need to read this thing. You may not get it at the first glance, but we can schedule another time to read it together. So, or if you guys schedule the time to read together, ensure you have your own personal space to have studied that same thing. So that when you get there, you just make sure that, okay, you are reading just to revise. And even though if you are a lone reader, you still understand it because you've read it before. So there are ways trade-off to manage it. But don't let your friends to be the one to always say every day we must be reading together and it's not what works for you. Just tell them. They may say that you are a slide, but you just have to tell them they can. At the end, it's your matric number that will get the result. So I think that's very, very essential.
This black thing. Okay, so
So I'm going to send my book called Nation President. I wrote explicitly about my failure of getting medicine my first time. I'm going to share the soft copy. How did I cope with it? At first, the failure was painful, but I said, let me go for microbiology. And I was so sure I'm going to get it again. But I was happy that I put my best into my microbiology. And when I didn't get it the second time, I said, okay, I'll continue with microbiology with the mindset that I will eventually proceed to medicine. But even the other mindset is eating me up. I took in those, if you want to call it mystery or frustration, as energy to just be best in my microbiology study, just to be the best ever in it. And as I delve into microbiology, I knew, okay, if I still want to go to medicine, I can still do medicine. Even currently now, okay, I'm in the US doing a PhD. I teach microbiology courses. I teach medical students. I'm taking the course starting Monday now. There'll be medical and nursing students there. So it's safe to say I'm training doctors. If that want to make me mentally okay, sort of. So just find some stories to yourself. I know it's not easy, but you also, because you can't say you don't want to sit at home. The country is not favorable, and the third thing is, how do you want to cope with a country that is not favorable? I think what helped me the most is that I saw myself as part of the solution to all of these challenges. I feel like, number one, I owe responsibility to know everything I'm being taught. Now that there's an internet age and I can go to the library then. So what I did is, even the lecturers are not teaching well, and I try to read a lot online and on using the library concisely, because I see myself as part of the solution. I know the government, everything is just, sorry for the F word, that's what I wanted to say, but everything is a mess. So you just have to see yourself as part of the solution. You have to see that, okay, you just need to give your best. Sometimes I just tend to think in my head, okay, this is the reality everywhere in the world, even though I know it's not the reality. Otherwise, I'll just be giving excuses for failures, which can be valid, but they can also be limiting. So it's not easy. It's frustrating. You guys have been on for several months, except those that are in state universities. I can imagine the feeling, the pain. For those 7 months also, what can you show forth for it, even though you are frustrated? What have you learned? Do you dedicate to reading much more? Or do you dedicate your energy to social impact building? Anything, just ensure you're making progress, something that will just keep you going, that will give you a nudge. It is not as easy as I said it, but yeah, that's just the best way to go about it. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. So, I know there are lots of
Sorry, I need to
questions.
address this last thing. Sorry, I need to address this last thing also. Somebody said like, down in his pay, the parents are definitely not helping. Now, I think the first thing is that your parents want the best for you. I experienced it, even though my parents are not learning it. When I was doing microbiology, my mom always asked me, Kenny, she says in Yoruba, like, she was actually the doctor, because she just wants me to be a doctor. She doesn't even know. And it's not her fault. It's not her fault. She's not learned. And even if she's learned, she knows that those maybe her friends' daughter or sons that are doctors or people that she sees or lawyers, they can provide for their family. So you just want the best. But the only way to change that narrative is for you to have academic excellence. From the first time I had the first class, my second year, I got the scholarship of Jagai about 300,000. She was invited by the VC for this award ceremony that they got. She didn't ask me again when I was to be a doctor. She was saying, my son is doing well. Because now you are giving them hope. Like, okay, whether medicine or not medicine, you are at the top of your career. They themselves know that it's not possible for you to be successful later on. They know. So at first, it may be frustrating, but it's you that need to go back and tell them that, okay, this is what I'm doing, I'll keep the best. You show them that you made a 5.0, a 4.5, you graduated, you got a university award, you got a scholarship. You tell them, don't pay my school fees. The scholarship agency has paid my school fees. Don't pay my house rent. I'll get the scholarship, I paid it. They will forget they are pushing you to medicine. I can tell you that. But yeah, there may be some tribe that still believe by fire by my force. I see the level of tribe. You can't kill yourself. You just have to, because they expect you to drop out of school. They can't. I know that is not. I feel like 90% of parents will get satisfied when you are doing extremely well, even doing well fundamentally. But for those that still feel like, maybe some that still like, irrespective of tribe, I know some parents can be a bit hard on. They want to become a mom, a bad doctor, and even that's time enough what you want to do. It may be a little of a diplomatic battleground, but just put your best to what you are doing, such that when you stand firm with your decision, later in the future, they will know that the pressure they put on you was not good enough, but eventually you came out best in your decision. That's what you want to do. And that's the best advice I can give. I'm not sure if it's satisfactory, but yeah, that's it.
Right. Thank you very much, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I saw another very interesting question. I don't think I can take everything, but yeah, I don't know if I'm the expert of talking about tribal mark or not tribal mark, or if you have but one thing I think that all of us have our insecurities. Some of us insecurity are in the way we speak. Some of us insecurity are in the way our body system looks. Understanding that what necessarily defines who you are is who you think you are. And this is not me being a motivational speaker. I have a friend that stammers, even though he's very intelligent. And today it's a bit shy. Joe Biden was a stammerer, the current president of the United States, and eventually get trained. The insecurity are there. Everybody has insecurity. The finest person on Instagram has one insecurity. You may not see it, but the person does. But don't let that define you. Let other things define you, because what matters is your mental peace, your mindset to succeed. And I know it's hard, especially when your insecurity are visible to everybody to observe. But what necessarily matters is just about you. So I would stop here. I said I have a session. I'm going to appeal to the other people. But yeah, I think it's been a wonderful time with all of you. You can connect with me on my LinkedIn, just Kendi Adebi, and hopefully we can take up the conversations from there.
Okay, sir.
And I'm seeing a lot of kind of my mentor messages. I'm sorry I can't reply to everybody, but we can continue on LinkedIn. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, so I would like to make a special request. I see a lot of persons have more questions for you. Possible for them to chat you up on your social media handle and tell you they are from Inside 22 Zenith Africa conference.
Yeah.
Maybe you could answer questions.
Oh, sure. My LinkedIn and Instagram are the two ways to reach me. Just search my name in those two places. I'm sure it's going to bring up my profile. My LinkedIn and Instagram. My LinkedIn is a bit messy.
Thank you so much. So before you go, I'll be asking two questions, so you can help me. You can help us with the correct answer in case we get it wrong. The first question is, answer correctly, will get the prize. I'm asking two questions. The first one is, where was the first job of the speaker on campus? That's the first question. We're not taking any more questions for now, we're just answering. What was the first job of the speaker on campus? The second question, what is the name of the author? So the first person to get them correctly will get the answer. So would you like to hear my answer?
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Okay. So the answer to the first question, where was the first job of the speaker on campus? Answer is United Nations.
My first job on campus. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, I think it was my first job after I graduated was United Nations. My first job, my first part-time job was home teaching. Somebody got it in the chat. Somebody said it. I was teaching, and that's what I said. Yeah.
Okay, so the second question, what is the name of the author's book? Answer, Nature Pays Diligence. So can you hear me properly?
Yeah, I can hear you. That's correct. Yeah, initial speech diligence. I posted the link of that on the chat box. Anyone that wants to download should be able to download it from there. Yeah.
Okay, that's it. So we're going to announce the winners at the end of this session. So I want to say a very big thank you to you. Thank you for the time, the impact. Like I feel like doing a do-over right now, like going back to the university and doing an undergraduate again. Being an undergraduate again and maybe studying microbiology. After listening to you, I've been so impacted and we're grateful. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your wealth of knowledge. So you're the kind of person who pray to die empty so that we can fully use up your knowledge. Thank you so much. So do you have any?
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. I thank you so much. I'm afraid I have to leave now. I'm not sure if the second speaker is still here. It's an honor to share the same stage with you. And yeah, everybody should have a nice day. Bye-bye. Yeah. And I'm sorry, I see some direct messages, but there are a lot of them I cannot reply because you can reach out to me on Instagram or LinkedIn. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Yeah.
All right, moving on. Thank you so much. I can see the answers to your questions. We're going to be having just the end of today's session. The next thing we're going to be doing now is the announcement of our essay competition winner. While preparing for Insights 2022, we had an essay competition and a lot of persons participated. So we'd like to introduce the winners to that essay competition. I would like to know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, right now I would like to introduce the person of Miss Laura Oni to take over and announce to us the winners of the essay competition. Thank you, Miss Oni.
Hello, I
Good
can't hear
evening,
anything.
everyone. Please, can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, my name is Laura Oni, and I was one of the judges that graded the essay for the SLA essay competition. And I will I want to duly appreciate everyone that participated in, every participant that turned in their essays in such a short time. We received 119 entries within a short time of publicizing it, and only about 111 were graded, and that was because they were the only ones that adhered to the instructions and the criteria. But certificates were given to all the participants. I'll be announcing the winners of the essay contest, and as soon as I call them, I would love them to signify in the chat box if they are present. So the second runner-up is Omorigbe Favor Iyobosa from the University of Benin, Nigeria, 200 level accounting. So if you are here, please signify in the chat box. Omorigbe Favor Iyobosa is second runner-up. The first leader from Bayero University in Kano, 100 level pharmacy. Yeah, please signify as soon as. The grand winner of the essay competition is all students from the University of Ibadan. Please signify if you're present. Chukuma Chisom from University of Ibadan. And once again, congratulate the winners of this competition. Thank you for turning in your essays and writing great essays. Thank you very much.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can. Okay, we can hear you now.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Laura. A big congratulations to all the winners of SLA essay competition. I'm sure you all did very great, but the best had to be selected. Okay, at this point, I would like to say that, like we did yesterday, I'd like to reiterate that we should go to our different social media platforms and drop whatever we've learned this from this conference. Like it stated, it's an annual webinar. It's held and today marks the end of this great conference. So what that means is we're going to have another one, which is going to be next year. But this is not the end of our activities in Student Lead Africa. So stay up to date with us. Follow our activities. Go online and spread the word. Let people hear what you've learned so far. We're going to have more activities and we would be reaching out to you. Can we still hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay, please, I would like to confirm that you can still hear me.
Yes, we can. We can.
Okay, at this point, I would like to introduce our sponsors so that you can also go on our social media platforms and follow them. We have Imagine Photography, Instagram handle Imagine Photography. So go on Instagram, search for Imagine Photography. And our second sponsor is Suwears, and the Instagram handle is Topwears, TOV Wears. Then we also have Lasso Live, also Lasso Live on Instagram. So these are our sponsors. We'd like you to go online and follow each and every one of them. The winners to this today's quiz will be announced on the group, on our WhatsApp group. So just go back to the WhatsApp group. After today's session, when we close, we'll have the winners to the quiz session announced there. You can drop your vote of thanks on the WhatsApp group too. Drop your thoughts, what you've learned so far, and inspire each other. I'd like to say a very big thank you as we come to the close of SLA, Salient Africa Insight 22. And please, I'd like to reiterate again that it is Insight, not Inside. Insight 2022. It's been an amazing ride. We've had amazing speakers, and we've all been impacted one way or the other. So I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone that participated, and a big thank you to the organizers of the Student in Africa initiative. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Please don't forget to follow our speakers. And when you want to ask Can we still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. In case you'd like to talk to one of the speakers that spoke between yesterday and today, just make sure you tell them you're from Insight 22 from the conference so that they can really respond to your questions. Thank you very much. This is the end of Insight 2022. Insight 2022. We'll be looking forward to next year's annual webinar. Do well to tell your friends about it. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Someone is asking if there would be certifications and promised shared materials. Yes, all those things will be communicated to us via the WhatsApp group. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.